want. If you're looking for something to do in our community over the next 2 months and you're interested in the fine arts, make sure you get out here. We get the stage all cleaned up today, and then for the next couple of weeks, we host the honor bands coming up in November from all over the state. The middle school honor bands, the high school honor bands will be here. We get them done, we try to clean up, and all of a sudden Christmas hits. We've got some tremendous things planned by both the band department, choir department, and theater department to kick off the Christmas season. We get the first 2 weeks of our Christmas stuff done, choirs and bands and extravaganzas, and the Fort Wayne Philharmonic's going to be here on the stage, so if you want some top quality music, make sure you catch us on that Sunday afternoon. We get done with that, and then we've got a Christmas comedy act that's coming that the production kids and Footlights and the Fine Arts Department are putting together to try to kick us into that last holiday vacation. So, if you want to know what's going on, call our office, check out the high school website, check that calendar, and be part of the Fine Arts Center here. One of the things we're trying to do with the Fine Arts Department is trying to push us on that path of continuing the excellence that's happened here at DeKalb High School, but also prepare ourselves for the future. We've taken that and we decided to turn it into the kids' hands. What do you want? What makes you a better department? Well, first of all, they need more help. So we're doing that. We're trying to give them more faculty supervision and faculty help to lead them into the fine arts field. We're also trying to put things in their hands, put them in charge of the things that are going on. One of the things they did was help us decide what kind of show we wanted to do. Good thing, because they're the ones that came in and started painting. They started rearranging set pieces. They started wallpapering and rearranging pictures and getting furniture and finding this and having this idea, and literally took care of every single detail. We put a brand new sound system in this auditorium to the tune of the Jameses, and their grateful donation of almost $26,000 for that, and another $15,000 donation to finance the finance department, along with SDI financing our costumes and our backstage work. The kids all of a sudden said, wow, these people are trusting us and believing us. We better do something right. It wasn't me pushing them, it was their support pushing them. And all of a sudden, when the new people were coming in and training the board, and they told you, this is the exact board, you're going to work in a professional theater when you leave. All of a sudden, the kids dove in. I'm not even up there. We got 2 kids up there that know that board better than I ever will. But when they leave here, they're going to have a skill that they can take with them, and that's our goal. We want to train kids to leave the fine arts department and be successful. They know, and they hear this from me all the time, very few of them will become professional actors. Lots of us have tried. It's a difficult road. It's a very, very difficult road. But like my mother, thank goodness, who told me I needed to get a real education in case something else fell through. I want these kids to know that when they leave the fine arts department, they have skills that they can take with them. And that's huge. Now, the only problem with that is when you do that, what am I supposed to do tonight? Really, because most of the time as a director, I've always been around, backstage, doing this, doing this. There really was nothing left for me to do. So I talked to the kids, and I said, you guys going to be okay by yourselves? They said, really? You have to ask us? So I gave my prop master one more job. I said, Jade, I need a jacket. She found me a jacket. She's costumed every single person on this stage tonight, including me. Thank you, Jade. Good. Well, let's hope so. Good. And then I said to my student directors, I hope you've got something to say to introduce the show, because I'm not going to. And normally I walk out and I take a seat by the lady that's been bringing me meals every night for the last 2 weeks because I'm never home. She's not here today because she's spending time with the rest of our family, but I got lucky tonight. You see, there are 3 other leading ladies in the house tonight that over the years I've fallen in love with over the time, some of them in multiple shows, all right? They drove up and drove out to see the show tonight, so I'm going to go back and have a seat by one of them. And I'm going to enjoy the show with you tonight. Let's hope it all goes well, and I give you can't take it with you.
Hi, I'm Joey Hopper.
And I'm Hannah Miller.
And we'd like to present to you
You Can't Take It With You.
You Can't Take It With You was first produced and written in 1937, almost 81 years ago.
It's a story about the current time periods of the 1930s.
Things like immigration,
And taxes.
and marriage,
And the relationships with the haves.
and have-nots. Kind of sounds like last night's news, doesn't it? So for me, this show has a lot of humor. We've worked really hard to produce it to the best of our abilities, and I'm sure that everybody will be able to take something with you home.
To me, this has been more than just a play, because this was my first year here at DeKalb. I'm a junior, and I kind of made a name for myself coming up on the stage, so I really appreciate Friels for making me student director.
And without further ado,
And if the students backstage are ready,
we'd like to present to you You Can't Take It With You.
My kitchen's awful hot. Oh, what, Essie? I said the kitchen's awful hot. The new candy I'm making, it just won't ever get cool. Do you have to make candy today, Essie? It's such a hot day. Well, I got a bunch of new orders. Ed went out and got a bunch of new orders. My, I suppose if this keeps up, you'll be opening up a store. That's what I was saying last night. But I said no. I want to be a dancer. Oh, well, the thing about dancing is, it takes so long, and you've been studying it for so many years. Oh, only 8 years. After all, Mother, you were writing plays for 8 years. We started along the same time, didn't we? Yes, but you can't count my first 2 years. I was only learning how to type. I think the candy's hard enough now, Miss Essie. Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in. Mother, I want you to try it. Did you finish the second act, Miss Sycamore? What, Reba? I said, did you finish the second act? Oh, no. See, I have Cynthia walking in this monastery. I thought she was at the Kit Kat Club. Well, yes, but she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there instead. Oh. Yes, and I made it Visitor's Day, so of course anyone can come. Does she stay all night? Oh, she stayed 6 years. 6 years? I bet she busts that monastery right on. 6 years later...
Mr. DePito? Yeah. Mr. DePito, do you think you can bring down those new skyrockets? I want to show them to Mrs. Sycamore. Sure. All right, Penny, what do you think of these? We sell them 10 strings for a cent. Nice, huh?
Yes. But Paul, dear, were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait till you see the skyrockets. Gold stars, blue stars, the bombs, and then the balloon. Mr. DePito thought of the balloon.
Yes. Lovely. Did you think of this all today?
Sure, wait a minute. Oh, here we are. Can you introduce me to skyrockets? Now, Penny, what do you think of this? We make them for 16 cents, and I'll tell you, we sell them for 50. Ain't that lovely?
Yes. My.
Well, Mr. DePina, I think it's about time we go to the cellar.
Wait a minute, Mr. Sycamore. What day are you going to take out that stuff from Mount Vernon?
And about a week. We got a lot of stuff made up.
But I've been thinking, that doesn't give the balloon time. The balloon has plenty of time.
Well, we got the stars and the bombs in between the powder chamber so it doesn't explode. Come on, come on.
All right.
Let's try that.
Mr. Davina, if you loved the girl so much and she was in this monastery, what would you do?
Well, I don't know, Mrs. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Oh. Isn't it sad coming home for dinner tonight? I don't know, Reba.
Well, I'll set a place for
but she's only been home one night this week. Yes, I know, Reba. Let's see. 6 and Mr. DePina, and if Mr. DeKalb comes, that make 8, don't it? I'll set for 8. Reba dear, I'm going back to the war play. Ooh, the war play. I always liked that one. Boom! Boom! They'll be better when they're harder, but try one, Mother. I want to know what you think. Lovely, dear. What do you call them?
I think I'll call them Love Dreams.
Lovely. Oh, dearie, I'm going back to the war play. Oh, are you, Mother? Yes, I've sort of got myself stuck in this monastery. Oh, it'll come to you. Remember that one time I got out of that brothel? Oh. The snakes look hungry. Did Reba feed them? I don't know. Reba, dear, have you fed the snakes yet? No, Donald's coming, and he always brings flies with him. Oh, yes. Well, try to feed them before Grandma gets home. And I'll buzz you when the snakes aren't fed.
Ooh, I was right about the balloon. It's way too close to the powder.
Do you want a lodging, Father? They're on the table.
No thanks, I gotta wash.
Hold dear, I'm going back to the war play.
Well, that's lovely. I think I'll put some red stars in between. That ought to cover it up.
You know, Mr. Kollenkoff said I'm his most promising pupil.
You'd think with 40 months and one girl that something would happen.
Listen to this.
I like that, Ed. Did you write it?
No, Beethoven.
Lovely. It's got a lot of you in it. I met there's a kid this afternoon, Ed.
Yeah.
You can take him around tonight.
Here's the big finish. This is me. How's that?
Ooh, that's fine. Remember when Kollenkoff comes, will you? Ed, dear, why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was thinking about it the other night.
I don't know. We could if you wanted to. How about it?
Oh, I don't care. I believe Grandpa is.
Let's ask it.
Religious play, labor play, sex play. My workplace has got to be around here somewhere.
I was right about the balloon. Way too close to the powder. Mr. DePina, anything you want printed?
How about some more calling cards?
No thanks. I still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody, will you?
Will do. Hey, Reba. What's for dinner? I'm ready to print the menu.
Watermelon, some of those candies Miss Essie made, cornflakes, and some kind of meat, I forget.
I think I'll set it up in bold-faced shelf cans tonight. If I'm gonna pass around those candies, I better grab some descriptive matter after dinner.
Ed, too. Do you think anyone actually reads those? You know, the ones that you put in the candy? Why, here's my war play. Poison gas. I bet that's Donald. Oh, look at Reba smile.
Boyfriend, never.
Yes, they're awfully cute, aren't they? Kind of like the Dale Evans and Roy Rogers.
Hello, Reba.
Oh,
How have you been, Donald?
I'm good, Mr. Ed. How are you, Mr. Sycamore?
oh I'm fine here.
Here are the flies here. I caught a big mess of them this morning.
Oh, you sure did. Donald, dear, were you ever in a monastery?
No. I'm on relief.
Oh, yes.
So I see you've been working, Mr. Sycamore.
Oh, yes, Donald.
How's Grandpa?
Oh, he's fine. He's over in Columbia this afternoon. Something with the commencement exercise.
The years certainly do roll around.
Oh,
Say, Penny, what's he go there for all the time anyway?
oh, I don't know. It's right around the corner. So handy.
Oh, Donald, Mr. DePina and I are going to take those fireworks up to Mount Vernon. You think you can give us a hand?
Yes, sir. Only I can't take no money for it this year. If the government finds out I'm working, they'll get sore.
Ah. Oh, Ed, I was reading Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Huh.
Who is it?
You know, Trotsky, the Russian Revolution?
Oh.
Anyways, I was in the bathroom and it struck me as a great firework idea. The last day of Pompeii.
Wow. Palisades Park. Why, that's where we met, Paul.
Well, I'm going to be doing a full-hour display of the Russian Revolution.
Say.
That's wonderful, Paul.
The red fire is the flag, huh?
Yep, and the Tsar and the Cossacks.
And the freeing of the slaves.
No, Donald, the Russian Revolution.
Hello, Grandpa.
Well, sir, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
How was it, Grandpa?
Oh, wonderful. They get better every year. Come on, how lucky all your snakes.
Big class this year, Grandpa? How many were there?
Must have been at least 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir. And much funnier speeches than they had last year.
If you want to hear a good speech, you should go and listen to your father divine.
Oh, I'll wait. Though I'm at Columbia.
Donald, dear, tell Reba that Grandpa's home and that we won't wait for Miss Alice for dinner.
Yes, ma'am. Grandpa, Grandpa, we can eat.
Evening, Grandpa.
Ah, evening, Mr. DePina.
Didn't we make a fine skyrocket today, Mr. DePina?
We certainly did.
I wonder why they don't have fireworks down at the commencements.
Oh, they don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement orator, and he'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks. And say just as much, too.
Don't the graduates ever say anything?
Oh, no. They just sit there, cap a nightgown. About 40 years from now, they suddenly say, "Where am I?"
Oh, hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get kissed?
Excuse me, Grandpa.
I'll take a tomato, too. No, could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Oh. Father?
No thanks.
Mother? No, thank you, dearie.
I'll play something, Ed.
Okay.
There was a letter that came to you, Grandpa. Did you get it?
A letter? I don't know anybody.
It was for you, though. It had your name on it.
Well, where is it?
Oh, I don't know. Where's the letter that came for Grandpa, Mother? What, dear? Where's the letter that came for Grandpa last week? Oh, I don't know. I remember seeing Reba clean it up.
Well, who's it from? Did you notice?
Yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government!
Really? Wonder what they wanted.
There was one before that, too. From the same people. There was a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd give them to me.
Yes, Grandpa.
I'll bet you that's George and Gracie. I'll get it.
You sure you got it, Grandpa?
I'm fine. Oh, come on in. Come on in. Say, you here for my shave?
Yes, I am.
All right, so I'll get a little scruffy, so I just want a little bit taken off the sides. Yeah. No. I think I'll go out to Westchester tomorrow and do a little steak hunting.
Oh.
God is the state is the God.
What's that?
God is the state is the God.
Who says that?
Why, it's Trotsky.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you said it.
Good for printing, you know? Nice and short. G-O-D space I-S space T-H-E.
And so, the beautiful princess came to the palace and kissed her mother, and her father, and her grandfather, who's currently giving a shave.
Hello, dearie.
Hi, Grandpa. And what do you think? They turned into the Sycamore family. Surprise!
Oh, Alice, I like it.
Do you?
It's new, isn't it?
Looks nice and summery.
Where did you get it?
Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new outfit this week.
Oh, I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the Kay Francis of Caribbean Company. Well, what's new around here in the way of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, or fireworks? Dad, but you've been down in that cellar all day.
Alice, dear, I'm going back to the war play.
Really, Mother?
And play Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote.
Kenneth, my virginity is a priceless thing to me. Listen, people, listen. I'm not home to dinner tonight. A young gentleman is calling for me.
Really? Who is it?
Sounds lovely, dear. Well, I did everything possible to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me. Well, why don't you two come to dinner? Oh no, I want him to take you in easy doses. I've tried to prepare him a little, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother, and don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we're going to see the Monte Carlo ballet tonight.
Can't do anything. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's the Vice President of Caribbean Company, Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
Well, the boss's son, just like the movies.
That explains the new outfits.
And not being on the dinner for 3 weeks.
Why, Sherlock Holmes.
Alice, dear, are you going to marry him?
Of course, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go upstairs and put on my wedding dress.
Alice, is he good looking?
Yes, in a word. Oh dear, what time is it?
Oh, I don't know. Does anyone know what time it is?
Mr. DePina might know.
It was about 5 o'clock a couple hours ago.
Oh, I ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes?
Of course.
Yes, but I mean the minute he comes.
Of course, dear.
Well, be sure. Well, what did you think of that?
She seemed to like him, if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him?
Now remember, Penny, this is only the first time he's ever called for the girl.
You only called for me once.
Well, young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Ed and me. He came to dinner once and just stayed.
Yes. Anyhow, I think it's wonderful. Don't you, Grandpa?
Well, she certainly seems happy about it.
Yes. I bet he's the one taking her out on those walks every night.
I'll bet you that's George and Gracie.
I bet you that's Mr. Kirby. Now remember what she said. Everyone be very kind. Oh, hello. Please come in. It's for you, Grandpa.
George and Grace. Wow. Hey, so you're the painters, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So here's what I want done with the place. I want it all white.
White.
Yes, white.
Of all colors.
Yes, what's wrong with that?
There's a whole rainbow.
Yes, but I want white.
Not purple?
No, I want white.
Not green?
Am I speaking English?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want white.
Red.
White, please. Yes.
Blue.
See, the thing is, I've always wanted to live in the White House. So in order to do that, it's got to be white.
Uh-huh.
Not blue, not red,
Okay.
not green. White.
Right, okay, well, see, we've got the perfect color for you. That's not white, right?
Spicy banana pepper.
What kind of color is that?
Yellow.
Liberals. So anyway, I want it all white.
All right, that'll take a couple of weeks. That's the hardest color to get.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care how long it takes, as long as it's white.
Okay. Do you want it rolled on or hand brushed?
Whichever one looks better.
All right.
We'll do the most expensive one.
What was that?
Blue, right?
White.
Blue.
White.
Blue.
White.
Oh dear.
So dear indeed.
I bet it's Mr. Kirby.
I bet it's George and Gracie.
Oh, hello. It's for you, Grandpa.
So, George and Gracie. Oh, wow, come on in, Tim. George and Gracie. Say, how much do I owe you?
5 cents.
All right. Here you go. Say, what are you saving up for, Tim?
I don't know, I think I want to go to college.
Oh, yeah? Well, what do you want to go to college for?
I don't know, I'm just a kid.
Oh, well, okay, you know what? Just a little bit extra. You achieve your dreams, Tim.
Thank you, Mr. Randolph.
All right, well, you have yourself a nice day.
Bye, Tim. That was very sweet of you, Grandpa.
Yeah, kids want to go to college. They need it.
I feel it. It's Mr. Kirby.
It's George and Gracie.
You've been wrong every time.
So have you.
Why, hello! Please come in! This is Alice's father, her grandfather, Essie, her sister, and Essie's husband, Ed Carmichael. Will please come in?
I believe you're mistaken.
How so?
My card.
Let's see. Welma! Oh. Welma C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
That's a woman?
Oh.
Oh, well, what can we do for you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, ma'am, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to speak to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax?
Do you mind if I sit down?
No, just go right ahead.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
No, dear. It's just a little matter of income, revenue. Welma, oh. Pardon me.
What is it, Mr. Levina? Sparkling. It's not lighting. Unless it does. Pardon us. Excuse us. Pardon me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this and have not yet received your reply.
Oh, so that's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government. Mr. Vanderhoff, it states here that you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, you own property, don't you?
Last I checked, yeah.
And you receive a yearly income from it
I do.
of between $3,000 and $4,000.
About that.
You've been receiving it for years.
1901, if you want the exact
The
date.
government is only concerned from 1914 on. That's when income tax began.
Well,
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, according to my records, you owe the government 24 years back in income tax.
Wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's outlawed.
What's your name?
What's that matter?
Ever filed for an income tax return?
No, ma'am.
What was your income last year?
$28.53, right, Nancy?
Yes, sir. If you please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, there's quite a penalty for not filing for an income tax return.
Penalty?
Now look here, Miss Henderson. Suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I don't say I'm going to pay it, but let's say I do just for argument's sake. What's the government gonna do with my money?
How do you mean?
Well, I go into Macy's and buy something. There it is. I see it. What's the government give me?
Well, why the government gives you everything. It protects you.
What from?
Well, foreigners, invasions that could happen and take everything you've got.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna do that.
Well, they would if we didn't have income tax. Like, how do you pay the army and the navy, all the battleships?
Last time we used battleships was in the Spanish-American War. And what did we get out of that? Cuba. And we gave that back. I wouldn't mind paying if it were for something sensible.
Sensible? Well, what about Congress, the Supreme Court, the president? We've got to pay them, haven't we?
Not with my money. No, ma'am.
I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is you haven't paid income tax, and you've got to.
They've got to show me.
We haven't got to show you anything. I just told you, all those buildings on Washington, interstate commerce, the Constitution.
The Constitution was paid for long ago, and what is interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states, see?
Yep.
Didn't have interstate commerce. Nothing would be able to travel from one state to the next.
Why not? They got fences?
No, they haven't got fences. They've got laws. My God, I've never seen anything like this before. And you know what else? You'll go to jail if you don't pay. Do you hear that? You will go to jail. And if you think you're breaking the law, then you have another thing coming. And you'll be hearing from the United States government. And that is all I can say.
Look out for those snakes.
Jesus!
How's fine, Ed?
Well, how'd that sound to you folks? I liked it.
She was mad, wasn't she?
Oh, it's not her fault. The whole thing was so silly.
Who was she anyway?
She left her hat.
Oh, she did, eh? What size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Just right for me.
It's Mr. Kirby.
It's George and Gracie.
I hope he's good looking.
Who, George?
Hello.
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Yes, indeed.
Please come right in. Everyone, this is really Mr. Kirby. Mr. Kirby, this is Alice's father. Her grandfather.
How do you do?
Her sister Essie, and Essie's husband, Ed Carmichael. Well, please sit down.
Thank you.
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother? Oh, yes, dear. He's quite lovely. I'll be right down.
I hope I'm not keeping you from dinner.
Oh, no. Are you tomato?
No, thank you.
A piece of candy.
No, thanks.
Oh, this is Mr. DePina.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Say, wasn't I reading about your father the other day in the paper? Didn't he get indicted or something?
Oh, hardly that. He merely testified before the Securities Commission.
Yes, I'm sure there was nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePina. In
Uh-huh.
fact, Alice has told us what a wonderful father you have.
Well, I know Father couldn't go along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awfully young, Mr. Kirby, aren't you, to be vice president of a big old place like that?
Well, you know what that means, Vice President. All I have is a desk with my name on it.
No salary?
Well, a little. More than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Now you're just being modest.
Sounds kind of dull to me. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there long.
Oh, just out of college, huh?
Just knocked around for a while. Sort of had fun.
Oh, what'd you do, travel?
For a while. Then I went to Cambridge for a year.
Oh, England.
That's right.
Say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Very impressive.
Oh, they are, huh?
Anyhow, the fun's over, and now I'm facing the world.
Well, you certainly got a great start, Mr. Kirby. A rich father, a nice job.
That's hardly my fault.
Well, now I'm sure you're ready to wound down and get married.
Now remember, Penny, I'm sure Mr. Kirby has his mind made.
I wasn't making up his mind for him, was I, Mr. Kirby?
Not at all, Mrs. Sycamore.
You see, you mustn't rush him, Mother. Well, he's bound to get married. Suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am, fish in blue. Apparently you've had time to get acquainted.
Oh, yes. We were having a lovely talk about love and marriage.
I'm so sorry.
I came down as fast as I
I
could.
didn't mind in the least.
Damn, those flies
Here we go.
Going out stepping, huh?
I'll bet you that's George and Gracie.
No, Grandpa. Mr. Collincott.
Okay, I think we better go, Tony.
All right.
Grandpa, you can cream on your cornflakes. I forgot.
Happy half.
Rhonda, my beautiful Rhonda.
Yes, Mr. Collincott.
Hello, Mr. Collincott.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Now, tell me, Grandma, what do you think? I've received letters from Russia. The second 5-year plan, total failure.
I practiced today, Mr. Collincott.
Ah, my beautiful Pavlova.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Collincott.
Miss Alice. Never have I seen you look so beautiful before.
Well, thank you, Mr. Collincott. Tony, this is Mr. Collincott, SE's dancing teacher, Mr. Kersey.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Now, if you'll pardon us, Mr. Collincott, we're going to see the Monte Carlo ballet.
The Monte Carlo Ballet. Here we go. It stinks.
Yes, well, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So glad I met you all.
Goodbye.
The Monte Carlo Ballet.
He seemed like a lovely young man.
I thought he was nice, didn't you?
Oh, yes, and so good looking.
Yes. Did you notice his manners, Paul? Did you?
I did. You were getting pretty personal with him.
Oh, now, Paul. Anyhow, I think he's a lovely young man.
He looks like a cousin of mine.
Boss! Diagna! And happy ballet!
Come on, everyone, dinner.
Alright, quiet everybody, quiet. Time for grace. Well, sir, we've all been getting along pretty well now. Of course, we have to keep our health too, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
So, the second 5-year plan was a failure, eh, Collincott?
Catastrophic. And wait until they try the third 5-year plan.
Think of it. Alice getting married to a Kirby?
Oh, think of it. Isn't it exciting?
I'll play the wedding march on the xylophone.
Oh.
What do we got for dinner? I'm starving.
Well, I can see them dance every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
They are, aren't they? But of course, just walking inside any theater is a thrill.
Well, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it be over.
Is it over? Do I have to go right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
That'd be wonderful.
I'll go see what's in the icebox. Why don't you come along?
I follow you to the end here.
Oh, just the kitchen is enough.
Why? I like it. You've done it very simply, haven't you?
Yes, you can decide between Empire and Rio Vision.
So you sail for Frigidaire.
Yes, it's so easy to live with. Lucky you're not hungry, Mr. K. An icebox full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the sycamores.
Why they made these bottle openers for singer midgets I never did. All over my coat.
I'll take mine in the glass if you don't mind.
There you are. Long beaker.
Anyhow, it's cold.
Now, if you'll please be seated, I'd like to make toast.
We are seated.
Miss Sycamore, to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade 1 minute this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Terrific. Didn't you read the Gooder? Oh, wrong eye. I suppose I have to go.
Is it very late?
Very. Outside. I want to go.
I don't want you to.
All right, I won't. When do you take your vacation?
Last 2 weeks in August.
I might take mine then too.
Really?
What are you gonna do?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought much about it.
Going away, do you think?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
Oh, I do too.
But you usually go up to Maine, don't you?
That's right. But how exciting! I'd love the city in the summertime if you were there.
I'd like if you were here too, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you'd rather spend the summer with me than anyone else.
Was I?
Well, if it's true about the summer, then how would you feel about the winter?
Yes, I'd like that too.
Then there's spring and autumn, if you can see we're clear about those, Miss Sycamore.
I might.
That's the whole year we aren't missing anything, are we?
No.
Well,
Alice! Alice, dear! My,
What time is it? It's past my bedtime. Oh! Kirby. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Not at all, Mrs. Singer.
Oh, I just came down to grab my manuscript. Yeah. Yes. Let's see, which one to read tonight? Oh my, my favorite. Sex Takes a Holiday. Yes. Well, you two have a nice night. Good night. Well, Tony, I think you can call me Mrs. Kirby. Let's hope.
What's that?
It's all right, Tony. That's just father.
At this time of night?
Any time of night, any time of day.
You know, you're more beautiful, more lovely, more adorable than anyone else in the world.
Don't, Tony.
It's wrong. It's because your mother. All mothers are like that. You see, Penny's a darling. You see, I'm even calling her Penny.
Oh, I don't mean that. Look, Tony, this is something I should have said a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so.
Darling.
No, wait, Tony. I want to make it clear to you. You're of a different world, a whole different kind of people. I don't mean money or socially, that would be too silly, but your family and mine, it wouldn't work, Tony. It just wouldn't work.
All right, have it your way. She can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
Oh, I don't call that into what she does. Oh, hello. How's the ballet?
It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful.
Hello.
Hello.
Look, what do you people think? Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Kirby?
Why, I always thought so.
But what does she do anyhow? Now look, Mr. Kirby, you're Fred Astaire and I'm Ginger Rogers.
Essie, please!
What? I only want to use them for a minute. Now look, Mr. Kirby.
Essie, you're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We're all agreed.
You see, Ed?
Yeah, come on, Essie. We're butting in here.
Oh, but they've been together all evening. Good night, Mr. Kirby. Good night, Alice.
Good night, Mrs. Carmichael.
Good night. Say, Essie, did you ask Grandpa about us having a baby?
Oh, yes. He said go right ahead.
You see, Tony, that's what it'd be like.
Oh, but I didn't mind that, and we wouldn't be living with your family. It's just you and I.
No, it isn't. It's never quite that. I love them, Tony. I love them deeply, and some people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're gay and they're fun, and I don't know, there's a kind of nobility about them.
Alice, you talk as if only you could understand them. That's not true. Every family's got curious little traits. My father grows orchids at $10,000 a bulb. Is that sensible? My mother believes in spiritualism. That's just as silly as your mother writing plays, isn't it?
It goes deeper, Tony. Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
Darling, what of it?
And look at Grandpa. 35 years ago, he just quit business one day. He started up to his office in his elevator and came right back down. He just stopped. He could have been a rich man, but he said it took too much time. So for 35 years, he's just collected snakes and gone to...
Oh, hello there, children.
Good evening, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Hi, Grandpa.
Say, nice summer day, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's lovely, Grandpa.
Well, I'll be seeing you around, Mr. Kirby. I've got a date with the policeman on the corner.
Policeman?
Yep, we've had a standing date, 9:30 every night. Known him since he was a little boy. He's actually a doctor, but one day he came up to me and he said, Mr. Vanderhoff, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a policeman. So I said to him, you go ahead and be a policeman if that's what you want to be. And that's what he did. Say, how do you like my new hat?
Oh, it's very nice, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Yeah, I like it. The government gave it to me.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't know y'all both were in here.
It's all right, Donald.
You kind of faced me some candy earlier, and oh, here it is. Do you want it?
No, Donald.
Thank you. Did you have a nice evening?
Yes, Donald.
A nice dinner?
Yes, Donald.
Nice ballet?
Yes, Donald.
That's nice.
Now do you see what I mean? Could you explain Donald to your brother? Could you explain Grandpa? I love you, Tony, but I love them too, and it's no use, Tony. It's no use.
Alice, there's only one thing you said this whole evening that makes any sense at all. That you love them.
Tony, I know so well.
Charlie, don't you think other people have the same problem? Everyone's got family.
Not like mine.
That doesn't stop people who love each other. Won't you trust me and go on loving me and forget everything else?
How can I?
Because nothing can stop each other. Nothing can keep us apart. You know it. You must know it. They want you to be happy, don't they?
Of course they do, but they can't change, Tony. I wouldn't want them to change.
They don't have to change. They're charming, lovable people, just as they are. Worrying about something that may never come up.
Tony, am I?
All that matters for now is that we love each other. That's so, isn't it?
Yes.
Well then. Well then, I'd like to see a little gaiety around here. Young gentlemen calling and getting engaged and whatnot.
Well, what do I say?
Well, first you thank the young man for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then you tell him what it was first about him that took your girlish heart.
The back of your head.
Huh?
Uh-huh. It wasn't your money and it wasn't your charm. It was the back of your head. I just liked it.
And what happened when I turned around?
Oh, I got used to it after a while.
Alice, think of it. We're pretty lucky, aren't we?
I know that I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
I'm not exactly unlucky myself. Darling, I suppose I have to go. Good night.
Good night.
Isn't it wonderful we work in the same office? Otherwise, I'd be hanging around here all day.
Oh, won't it be sunny in the office tomorrow? Seeing each other and going on as though nothing happened?
Thank God I'm vice president. I can dictate to you all day. Miss Sycamore, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Oh, darling, you're such a fool.
Why don't we meet in the drugstore in the morning before we go up to the office? I'll have millions of things to say to you.
All right.
And then lunch and dinner tomorrow night?
Oh, Tony, what will people say?
Well, it's got to come out sometime. In fact, if you know a good house stop, I'd like to do a little shouting.
Well, sure made a fine load of fireworks, didn't we, Mr. DePina?
Oh, yes. That's what? 500 Black Panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen junior kitty bombers.
Pretty impressive. Oh, Alice, you just come in?
Oh, no, I've been home quite a while.
You had fun at the, blah, blah, blah?
I had a beautiful evening, Father.
Now I'll say, Mr. DePina, can you turn out the lights? I want to show Alice this new red fire. I want her to get the full effect.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, what, Father?
Now, tell me, what do you think of this little red fire right here? Nice. There it is. What do you think of this red fire? Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, oh, Father, everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful red fire in the world.
Huh.
Where is everybody? I guess it must be intermission. Well, I'd like to thank you all for coming out to see the show. And there's bathrooms right out those doors if you need to go. And I also have time for a haircut. Does anybody want one?
All right. All right, so I said to him, you can keep your old job. I'm ready to read the new play, Miss Wellington, anytime you are. Oh, just 1 minute, dearie, just 1 minute. If you don't mind me asking, you don't normally drink when you're acting, do you? Oh, I am so glad that you asked. Once the play starts, I don't touch a single drop. That bottle gets put right away until intermission.
Say, Miss Wellington, have you been on stage a long time?
Oh, all my life. You ever seen a pig on my horse?
Yes.
Oh, me too. It was really good, wasn't it? Say, the air is hot in here, ain't it?
You want me to open the window, Miss Wellington?
No, the hell with the weather. Say, you're cute.
She just acting weird, but
Well, whenever you're ready to read the new play, Miss Wellington, we can go up to my room. I thought we'd go to my room. After you. Oh. Oh my. Oh, when I see snakes, it's time for me to sit down. Oh, now, Miss Wellington. See, those are real snakes. Oh, dear. See, these are Grandpa's snakes. And, well, as long as you don't... Miss Wellington!
Got like a light. I guess we better let him sleep it off.
Reba is warning us now!
Yes. You think she'll be all right?
Yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
I guess we'll just have to wait.
Next time you beat an actress on top of a bus, Penny, I think I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
Ed, I wish you stopped Penny and take those love drinks around. You've got to get back in time to play for me when Cop comes.
Oh, Carl coming tonight.
Yes, tomorrow night's the night, but I had to change it on the account of Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm a little nervous, too. You'd think it was me who's getting engaged to Mr. Kirby instead of Alice.
I wonder what they'll be like, his mother and father. Ed, what are you doing now?
Penny, did you see the new mask I made last night? Guess who it is?
Oh, yes. Wait a minute, Ed. I got this. Helen of Troy.
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
Oh. Huh.
Well, you know what the nice thing about these Lego sets is you can make so many different things with them. Last week it was the Empire State Building.
Oh, what is it this week?
It's Queen Mary.
Hasn't got the right hat on.
Mr. DePina, would you check outside and see if there's a man watching the house?
Why? What for?
The last couple of days when I've been out delivering candy, there's been a man following me.
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me around and he stands and watches the house.
Really? I'll take a look and see.
I don't see what anybody would want to follow you for, Ed.
Now, Grandpa, there's many kidnappings going on.
Oh, yes, but not of Ed.
Well, is there anybody there?
No,
You're sure?
I'm positive. I just saw him walk away.
You see?
Oh, it could have been anyone walking along the street. Ed, will you hurry and get back?
Oh, okay.
Want to go down now, Mr. Sycamore, and work on those fireworks?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff made up.
Mother, may I borrow a piece of paper? I'm making a list for a review tomorrow night. Of course, dear. Here's some. Why, what happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
Oh, no, dear. See, she's really drunk.
Essie, dear, you're going to give Reba the kitchen all day tomorrow, aren't you? Because she'll need it.
Of course, Alice. I'll get started on some candy now, so I'll be way ahead.
Thanks, dear. Look, Mother, I'm coming home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything down in the cellar by that time? The typewriter, and the snakes, and the printing press, and the xylophone,
And Miss Wellington.
and Miss Wellington. That'll give me enough time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
The Kirbys are certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother? Of course, dear. And I think we'd better have cocktails ready by 7:15, in case they happen to come a little early. I wonder if I ought to let Rhonda cook your dinner. What do you think, Grandpa?
Now, Alice, from what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure his folks are really nice people, and if everything isn't so elaborate tomorrow night, I think that's all right, too.
Oh, darling, I'm not trying to impress anyone or pretend we're anything that we aren't. I just want everything to go off.
Reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
Yes, dear. We're going to try and make this a wonderful party. Oh, my darlings, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world, and I'm the happiest girl in the world. Didn't know anyone could be so happy. Why, this past week has just been like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. Why, just seeing him, you don't know what it does to me.
Oh, yes, just seeing him. Just seeing them for lunch, and for dinner, until 4 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock the next morning at the office. There he is again, just seeing him, huh?
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba, Rhonda, honey.
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
Yes, I remember when I was engaged to Paul, how happy I was. And you know, I still feel that way.
Nice the way Ed and Nessie get along too, isn't it?
Yes, and Donald and Reba, even though they're not married. Say, do you think Mr. DePino will ever marry?
Well, there is Miss Wellington.
Oh dear. You know, I wish she'd wake up if we're ever gonna read that play.
Oh, I'll bet you that's George and Gracie. I'll get it. Oh, it's the Millers! Come on in, come on in.
Millers!
Hey, what brings you around here?
Well, we've decided to sell a house to people buying off the block.
Really? I thought you weren't gonna sell.
Well, we offered a lot of money.
Oh, well, what do you plan to do now?
Well, we decided if I wanted to do motorized campers.
Oh, a home motor.
That's right. We're going to see the country.
I guess America really is gonna get to meet the Millers, huh?
Oh.
Say.
Yes, we bought you a parting gift.
Oh, thank you. Say, what we got in here?
There's some things there I hope you might enjoy. The soap.
Oh, yes, the soap. The soap, yes.
I better take that to the kitchen.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
You know what? You guys have been terrific neighbors. Really gonna miss you.
Miss you, Martin.
Yeah, we're gonna miss you too.
Oh, yeah. Right. Do not tell Paul I sell him for $6.
What?
You haven't given Paul the money yet?
Nope. We gotta get going. Bye. As being neighbors. Bye.
Bye, Millers.
Hi. I didn't know they owed Paul $50.
Me either. I'm sure gonna miss them.
Yeah, me too. Huh.
Mrs. Sycamore. Look what I found. Remember?
Yes! Why, that's the painting I drew of you as the discus thrower.
Oh yes, I remember that. Say, you had a little bit more hair back then, didn't you, Mr. DePino?
I still have plenty, thank you.
Let me look at that.
Why, that was 8 years ago.
8 years? Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. No, the milkman was here for 5, just ahead of you.
What happened to him anyway?
Well, you know, he never really left. He just kind of died.
Died?
Yes, he died.
Yes. Remember the funeral, Grandpa? We didn't know his name, so it was difficult to find a certificate.
What was the name we finally came up for?
Martin Vanderhoff, we gave him your name.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yes, it was a lovely idea, or else he wouldn't have gotten all those flowers.
Nope, didn't hurt me any. Not bothered with mail anymore. And I haven't had a telephone call from that day to this.
Yes, it really was a lovely idea.
Yeah, it certainly was.
You know, Mr. Sycamore, I kind of wish you'd finish this. I'd really like to have it.
You know what, Mr. DePina? I think I'll do some work on it right tonight.
Say, will you?
Yes. Why don't you go on down to the cellar and see if your Roma's costume's still there?
Yeah, will do.
Awesome.
Oh, you get the door, Rhonda. Thank you.
Rhonda, my beautiful Rhonda.
That's Colin Cobb, all right.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kulenka. Essie's in the kitchen.
Madam Sycamore, I greet you. Now, tell me, Grandma, what should I do about Rhonda? I keep telling her she'll make a great soul dancer, but she only laughs.
No, sir, I couldn't get up on my toes. I got corns.
But Rhonda, you could be wearing diamonds. I tell you, if you just try. A great girl, Grandma.
Yes.
What is this?
Oh, that's a picture of Mr. DePina. Penny painted it. What do you think?
It stinks.
Yeah, I know. Say, what do you think of that?
What is that?
That's a friend of Penny's. She's an actress.
She is drunk, no?
She is drunk. Yes.
Say, how are you? Oh, God. Magnificent. Life is chasing around inside me like squirrel.
It is, huh? Oh, that's the doorbell. I'll get it. Say, that must be George and Gracie.
I don't know. We'll see.
Who are you?
I'm Bethany. I'm here for the dance lesson.
That what?
Oh, yes. Come right downstairs.
Did you forget or something?
I'm old. Okay, I forget lots of things.
You're having class in my house?
Yes, Essie decided to change days on me at very short notice, so I had to move it to today.
Yes, but have to be here?
Yes. Okay. Hello, yes, you are here for a dance lesson.
Yeah, the one you rescheduled to tonight.
Yes, Grandpa, this is
Ruth?
Ruth, yes. Yes.
How many months now?
How long have I cared? All right.
Sir, treat your students nicely.
I wonder if that's Georgie and Gracie.
Possibly.
Veronica, yes.
Wait, so you remember that one?
Yeah, let's go. Get downstairs. She is a special one.
Oh.
I have to remember her name or it hurts her feelings big time.
Okay. Well, have you heard from your friend in Moscow?
Yes, I just received letter from him.
Oh, yeah.
He's been sent to Siberia.
Oh, how's he like it?
He's escaped.
Oh.
He's escaped and gone back to Moscow. I saved the stamp for you.
Oh, thank you. Cool one.
Now, I tell you, the Soviet government, if they do not get him now, they will get him eventually. The Soviet government, I could take the entire government and just... Gah!
Oh, I am so sorry. Mr. Kollenkoff, I'll get into my dancing clothes right away.
We will work really hard, Pavlova. We work on something new.
Say DeKalb. Is Essie making any progress?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Oh. Well, as long as she's having fun.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
You sure do took a run with your colon coffee glass in your head?
She is a great woman, Donald. Now, let me ask you something. What do you think of Soviet governments?
The what, Mr. Kollenkoff?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh, it's fine. I'm on release, you know.
And you like it?
Yeah, the only thing is you gotta go down to this place and get it. And sometimes the line's like half an hour long. The government ought to be run better than that. Don't you think, Grandpa?
The government ought to stop sending me these dang letters. They want me to be at the United States Marshal Office Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock sharp. Take a look at that.
Income tax. They have got you, old man.
Yeah, they want me to pay a lot of money so as to keep Donald here on relief.
You mean you're gonna pay it from now on?
That's what they want.
You mean I can come right here instead of scanning in that line?
No, Donald, I'm afraid you're still going to have to waste your week standing in that line.
Well, I don't like it. It breaks up my week.
He should have been in Russia when revolution came around. Then, he would have stayed in line. Bread line. What have they done to Russia, Grandpa? Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina of Russia, now works in child's restaurants. And only yesterday, she was serving baked beans. And it broke my heart. A crazy world, old man.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Colin Cobb. It's the people in it. Life's pretty simple if you just relax.
But how can you relax at a time like this?
Well, if people would just relax, there wouldn't be times like these. That's just my point. Life's pretty beautiful if you just let it come to you. But people forget that. I know I did. I was in the thick of it. Fighting, scratching, clawing, regular jungle. And one day it just kind of hit me. I wasn't having any fun.
And you did what?
Just relax. 35 years ago that was. And I've been a happy man ever since.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Kollenkoff.
Ah, Miss Alice. I see that you have not presented my congratulations yet.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kollenkoff.
May you have a very happy life and many children. That is my prayer for you.
Well, that's quite a thought.
Ah, love. Love is the only thing left in this world.
Yes, but there's plenty of that.
And soon Stalin will take that too. I tell you.
Seems so nice getting my art things again. What do you think, Grandpa?
You look lovely, dear.
Madam Sycamore, you are breath of Paris.
Thank you.
I didn't know you was working for the WPA.
Oh no, Donald. See, I used to paint all the time.
Happened again. There was a fellow following me every place I went.
Now, Don, Ed, it's just your imagination.
No, it's not. Every time I go out to deliver candy, he follows me.
Well, maybe he just wants a piece of candy.
It's all right for you to laugh, Grandpa, but he keeps following me.
Ed, you do not know what following is. In Russia, everybody is followed. Hell, I was followed right out to the country.
You see, Ed, it's just your imagination.
Well, maybe.
Oh, I'll bet you that's George and Gracie.
We'll see.
I'll get it. Oh. Oh, Sam, come on in. Come on in. Say, what's on the paper this week? Did you go?
No, I just deliver it. I don't need it.
All right. Well, what about you? Saved last week?
Yep, same as last week.
All right, here you go, Tim. Say, how's saving up for college going?
Really good. The tips are really adding up.
Oh, are they? Say, yep. The better you treat your customers, the better they pay you.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, you have yourself a nice day, Tim.
You too.
All right. I'll see you around.
Bye, Tim.
All right. Ed, for tonight's movement, the shortest movement of Jefferson.
Okay.
Oh, here we are.
Where do you want this, Mrs. Sycamore?
Go ahead and put it over there. Mr. DePina, your figure looks almost as perfect.
Why, thank you.
Oh, Miss Wellington. Yes? Oh, dear. I am so sorry. Mr. Kollenkoff, I couldn't find my slipper.
Do not worry about it, Pavlova. We have hot for tonight. And by the way, I had to change days on me because you decided to have a big thing happening tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
They are downstairs right now.
Oh.
Now, art can only be achieved through hard work and perspiration.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mr. Kollenkoff. Did you hear that, Grandpa? Art can only be achieved through hard work and perspiration.
Yeah, it helps if you have a little talent with it. You know, I only made 2 bullseyes last night. I think you're better than that.
All right, class. Are we ready?
Yes, Mr. Kollenkoff, we're ready. Yeah.
All right, let's begin. Now, pure way. Come on! You've been doing this for 8 years now. Try again. Now, Grandpa, we cannot relax. Not while studying in Russia. What happened to
He was too late.
Mr. Kollenkoff, Mr. Kollenkoff.
And if you're not relaxed, Grand Duchess Olga Katrina will not be serving baked beans today.
Mr. Kollenkoff.
What is it?
The doorbell!
Hey, wait, I see that here. We must be freer with the hands. Ed, the music must be freer too. And Donald, I like your style.
What is it, Reba?
Quit the fighting. The freedom. Or else I will do something. Fire, Pablo. Fly like a swan.
Girls, please. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Donald!
Yeah,
Who's here?
good evening.
Good evening. How do you do?
How do you do?
I hope we're not too early.
Oh, no. Come right in. We're glad to see you.
Yeah, so we thought you'd be here tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
What?
Oh, no, it's quite all right. Like, we weren't doing a thing.
Tony, how could you possibly?
Sorry, Dad. I thought it was.
Really, Tony? This is most embarrassing.
Oh, it's all right.
Yes, just a quiet evening at home.
That's all. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael.
Hello.
Mr. Carmichael. Here we have Mr. Kollenkoff, and the Roman back there is Mr. DePina.
Yes.
Don't mind my costume. I'll take it right off.
Hey, if you're going down to the cellar, would you tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up? Tell him that the Fergies are here.
Yeah.
Tell him to put his pants on, too.
Will do.
I better tell Alice that you're... Alice, dear! Please come down. We have a bit of a surprise for you.
Do take a seat, Mrs. Derby.
Oh, thank you.
May I take your rep?
Oh, if you're perfectly sure that's not...
Oh, but you mustn't mind them. They're perfectly harmless.
Yes, just so used to them around the house.
Take them to the kitchen, Ed, will you?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a bother, but snakes happen to be...
I feel very uncomfortable about this, Tony. How could you have done such a thing?
Sorry, Dad. I thought it was tonight.
Well, it was very careless of you. Very.
Now, Mr. Kirby, anyone can get confused.
Yes, they've come for dinner. Why don't you get them some dinner, Penny?
Yes. Oh, please don't bother. We're really not hungry at all.
Oh, well, it's not a bit of bother. Ed, tell Donald to run down to the A&P store and get a half dozen bottles of beer and get some canned salmon. Mr. Kirby, do you like canned salmon?
Please don't trouble Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyways.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Kirby, do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm very fond of it.
Yes, we can have frankfurters instead.
Either one will do.
Yes, make it frankfurters and get some canned corn and some canned bell soup. Tell Donald to hurry, it's right around the corner. The frankfurters take a bit of time to boil.
Got it.
Oh.
Ah, and this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore. Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
How do you do?
Kirby, I'll go take it off.
Yes, this is Mr. Sycamore's busiest time of year. Right before 4th of July, he always...
Darling, I'm the most well-wanted person in the world. That was tonight.
Tony, I thought you... I'm so sorry. I wasn't... Imagine. You all met each other?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice?
Well, how do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
And you love her.
Of course she does. Don't let this upset you, my dear. We've all just met each other a day early. That's all.
I was planning such a nice party tomorrow evening.
Oh, well, come again tomorrow night.
There you are, Alice. Am I forgiven?
I guess so. We better see about getting you folks some dinner.
Why, I've already done that, Alice. That's all I've been attending to.
But Mother, what did you send out for? Because Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion and can only eat certain things.
Oh, it's quite all right. It's all right.
Of course it is not.
I asked him what he wanted, Alice.
Yes, but...
No, it's just not as serious as all that. Just because I have a little indigestion.
Well, perhaps, Mr. Kirby, it is not indigestion at all. Perhaps you have minor case of stomach ulcers.
Don't be absurd, Mr. Kollenkoff.
Oh, you mustn't mind calling Cobb, Mr. Kirby. He's Russian. Russians are inclined to look at that dark side of things.
All right, I'm Russian. A friend of mine, also Russian, died to stomach ulcers.
Really,
Please, Mr. Kollenkoff, Mr. Kirby has indigestion and that's all.
All right, let him wait.
You take a seat, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, thank you.
Say, how do you find business conditions? You figure we're well out of the depression?
Well, yes, I think so. Of course, it all depends.
Well, you figure things are going to keep on improving.
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, industry is now operating at 64% of full capacity, as against 82% in 1925. Now, of course, in 1929...
There was a young lady from Wheeling who had the most wonderful feeling. She's my,
That may seem a little strange to you people, but she's a friend of Penny's. We invited her for dinner and she was, well, overcome by the heat.
Yes, some people feel it harder than others. I'd better check on her. Excuse me.
It is awfully hot. Usually escape all this hot weather, don't you, Mrs. Kirby, up in Maine?
As a rule, I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the high spot of her year.
I got a ribbon at the flower show once for raising onions. Remember, Alice?
That was the garden show, Essie.
Oh, yes.
She'll be all right. Has Donald come back?
No, he hasn't.
Well, he'll be back very soon. I'm afraid you guys must be starved.
Oh no, it's quite all right. Hello? What's this? Let me just grab that. I was worried that there were little children in the house.
Nope, that's mine.
Really? Well, let's suppose every man has a hobby. Or no, this was a model.
Why, nope, I just play with it.
I see.
Maybe you'd be better off get a hobby like that, Father, instead of raising orchids.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, do tell us about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Some of them take 6 years before they blossom, don't they? Think of that.
Oh, some of them take longer than that, you know. I've been waiting for one to blossom for 10 years now.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid once.
Of course, during that time, they most require the most scrupulous of care. I remember a bulb that I was very fond of.
Oh, Donald?
Donald, dear! Did you get everything?
Yes, Only they didn't have Frankenfurters, so I got pickled pig's feet and fair donuts.
Oh, yes. Never mind, I will just bring it all into the kitchen. Do tell them all about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. I know they'd love to hear it. And excuse me, Donald.
Kind of an expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby? Raising orchids?
Yes, it is. But if I feel if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it's never expensive.
That's very true.
You see, I need something to do to relieve the daily nerve strain. After a week in Wall Street, I'd go crazy if I didn't have something to do like that. A lot of men I know have yachts, just for that very reason.
Well, why don't they give up Wall Street?
How's that?
I was only joking.
I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, it's more to me than a hobby, but my great solace is spiritualism.
Now, Mrs. Kirby, everyone knows spiritualism is fake.
To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I'd rather not discuss it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Now remember, Penny, we all have one or two hobbies of our own.
Yes, I know, dear, but not silly ones.
Oh, I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
Well, to be ideal, a hobby must include two things, the body and the mind. Well, the ancient Romans were a great people. And why was that? Well, what was their hobby? Wrestling. And with wrestling, you must be quick with the body and think with the mind.
Yes, but I'm afraid wrestling isn't very practical for most of us. You see, I don't make a very good showing as a wrestler.
Oh, but you would, Mr. Kirby. You're smart, you are philosophy, you're tall, built like a wrestler. But the most important thing that you possess
What's that?
is that you're very good at bowling.
Oh my goodness! Kirby! Are you hurt?
Where are my glasses?
Oh, here they are. Oh, Mr. Kirby. They're broken.
Well, perhaps next time when you wrestle, Mr. Kirby, you won't wear glasses.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mr. Konikov.
Better sit down, Father.
Mr. Kolikov! How could he do such a thing? Why didn't somebody stop him?
I think, if you don't mind, perhaps we'd better get going.
Mother?
Oh, Mrs. Kirby. Mr. Kirby, please don't go. I've ordered some scrambled eggs for you and some plain salad. Oh, please don't go.
I'm sorry if I did anything wrong. And I apologize.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Kirby. If I'd only
That's
been here.
quite all right.
Of course it's all right, Alice. We're not leaving.
Well, that was exciting for a minute.
You were talking about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. Do you raise many different varieties?
I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Kirby.
What did I do that was so wrong? I did not kill the man.
Please, Mr. Kolikov.
I'm sure dinner will be out very soon. Oh, yes. And while you're waiting, would you like some candy?
My doctor does not permit me to candy. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Kirby, but these are nothing but coconut, marshmallow, and fudge.
Delicacy. Alice! Excuse me? What is it, Rhonda? Make some fell down the sink. Well, make some more, quick! I don't have any. Yes, I got for some. All right. Tell him to hurry. I'm so sorry. There'll just be a little delay on the food, but everything will be ready in just a minute. Whoosh!
I've certainly pushed people through a lot with my stupidity.
No, not at all, Tony.
Why don't we play a game of some sort while we're waiting?
Well, they'll be fine.
Oh, Mother, I don't think this
Well.
works. Kirby.
I have an idea. Perhaps we have a trick. A trick with full
Kolikov!
All over your coat.
No, I think we'll stick to my game. It's a little less physical.
Please, Mother.
He'll like it.
I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, now, Mr. Kirby, any fool can play this game.
Mother, Mr. Kirby,
He'll
the
enjoy
one.
it, Alice.
Go get Reba.
Here. You just write your name on this, as well as you, Mrs. Kirby.
Mother, what is this game?
Oh, this is a game I used to play back in grade school. It's called Forget Me Not. Here you go. Now, I'm going to list off 5 different words, and you put down the first thing that comes to your mind. For example, if I say green, you might put down grass. Or if I say table, you might put down chair. See how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
Come on, Father. Be a sport.
Very well. shall be happy to play it.
I knew he'd want to play, Alice.
Oh.
Let's get started. The first word is potatoes. Got potatoes? All right, the second word is bathroom.
Mother.
Bathroom. Ready for the third word? The third word is lust.
Mother.
Alice, dear, that word's perfectly fine.
Although that word is not all right.
Oh, I don't know. I would say that word is perfectly fair. I told you, Alice. Now you mustn't interrupt the game.
May I please have that last word again?
Of course, Mr. Kirby. Lust.
I've got it.
This is quite the game, isn't it?
Shh, Grandpa. Ready for the fourth word? Honeymoon. Essie, dear. Honeymoon. Ready for the last word?
Go right there.
Thank you. Sex.
Mother.
Everybody got sex? All right. Now I'll take your papers. Thank you. As well as you guys. Thank you. Mr. Kohenkoff.
All right, I'm finished.
And Kirby's. Thank you.
Well, what happens now?
Oh, this is the best part. Now I read off your answers.
I see. It's quite an interesting game.
Yes, it is, Mr. Kirby. It shows how your mind reacts to each and every different object. In fact, why don't we start with yours? We're going to read Mr. Kirby's paper out first. Hey, Ben, we're going to read Mr. Kirby's papers off first. Are we ready? All right. Potatoes. Steak. Why, yes, Mr. Kirby. See how they go together? Potatoes and steak.
I just so happen to think of it myself.
Oh, very well. Bathroom. Toothpaste. Very good, Mr. Kirby. Lust. Unlawful. Yes. Honeymoon. Trip. Of course. And sex. Male. Why, yes, Mr. Kirby. That you are. Well, that was a wonderful paper.
Thank you. It's more than just a game, you know. Isn't it kind of an experiment with psychology?
Yes, it is. That's how your mind reacted to each object. Now we'll see how Mrs. Kirby's mind reacts to it. Everyone, this is Mrs. Kirby's. Are we ready? Potatoes. Starch. Why, yes, Mrs. Kirby. I know exactly what you mean. Bathroom. Mr. Kirby.
What's that?
Oh, bathroom. Mr. Kirby.
I don't quite follow that, my dear.
I don't know what I meant. I mean, you are in there a good deal, Anthony. Bathing and shaving. You do take a long time.
Indeed. I hadn't realized I was being insulted. It didn't matter. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
I think it's a very silly game and we ought to stop it.
Yes.
No, please go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Lust. Human.
Human? Really, Miriam?
What I meant, Anthony, was that lust is a human emotion.
I don't quite agree with you, Miriam. Lust is not a human emotion. It is incorrect.
Very well, Anthony. I'm wrong.
Really, it's the most pointless game. Suppose we play 20 questions.
Yes.
No, I find this game rather interesting. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore. What was the next word again?
Honeymoon.
Oh, yes. What was Mrs. Kirby's answer?
Dole.
Did you say Dole?
What I meant, Anthony, was that the hot springs were not very gay that season. I mean, all the old people sitting on the porch all afternoon and nothing to do at night.
That was not your reaction at the time, as I recall it.
Father, this is only a game.
A very illuminating game. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
This one's quite all right, dearie. Sex. Wall Street.
Wall Street? What do you mean by that?
I don't know what I meant, Anthony. Nothing.
But you must have meant something, or else you wouldn't have put it down.
This is the first thing that came into my head, that's all.
So what does it mean? Sex? Wall Street?
Oh, I don't know what it means, Anthony. It's just that you're always talking about Wall Street, even if I were... Oh. I don't know what I meant. Alice, would you mind if we didn't stay for dinner? I'm afraid this game is giving me a headache.
Mother?
I understand.
Yes. Possibly we better postpone the whole dinner, if you all don't mind.
You'll be coming tomorrow night, won't you?
I'm afraid we have an engagement tomorrow evening.
Perhaps we better postpone the whole affair after a little while. The hot weather and,
Father, I think we're being very ambitious. Of course we'll stay for dinner. Tonight.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
Come. I'm sure everyone understands.
Well, I don't. I think we ought to stay.
No, Tony.
What?
You're fools, Tony, to ever think this would work. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't be in the office tomorrow. I'm afraid I won't be there at all anymore.
Alice, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, my dear. Very sorry. Are you ready, Miriam?
Yes, Anthony?
Oh, and it's been very nice to meet you all.
Yes. Lovely.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
I see. Your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night.
Stay right where you are! Don't move! Good heavens!
Why, what is all this?
I demand an explanation.
Keep your mouth shut! Which one is it? This is him.
What are you doing?
Ed!
What's going on?
What is it, Grandpa?
This is an outrage.
Shut up! What's your name?
Edward? Carmichael? I haven't done anything.
You haven't, huh?
Seems rather high-handed to me. What is all this?
Department of Justice.
Oh, the G-Force.
Ed, what have you done?
I haven't done anything.
What's the boy done, officer?
What is it? What's it all about?
That door leads to the cellar.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
May, Jazz, the door. Jan, take a look upstairs and see what you can find. Okay.
I haven't done anything.
Come here, you. Ever seen these before?
They're my circulars?
You put this stuff, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And you put them into boxes of candy and get them into people's homes.
Oh, the love dreams.
But I didn't.
You didn't, huh? Dynamite, the Capitol. Dynamite, the White House. Dynamite, the Supreme Court. God is the state, and the state is God.
But I didn't mean that. I just like the print. Don't I, Grandpa?
Now, officer, the government's in no danger from Ed. Printing is his hobby. He prints anything.
Does he, eh? This is such nonsense.
Look, I refuse to stay here just because my son.
My pipe! Hey, better let me get my pipe.
Shut up, you!
We're right, Chief. They've got enough gunpowder down there to blow up the whole.
Oh.
Yes.
Keep still. Everybody in this house is under arrest.
Hey, you better let me get my pipe or it'll blow up!
Well, it seems to me, officer.
Shut up!
Oh.
Young lady from me.
Oh, God, no.
Chief!
I'm trying to touch you ladies and half-blood ballerinas upstairs.
Who's that?
That's my mother.
For appearance in the West Side Court this morning after spending the night in jail, defendants 13 in all were brought before Judge Callahan and given suspended sentences for manufacturing fireworks without a permit. Thank you.
They kept me in the same cell as a stripteaser from a burlesque show.
I was in the same cell as Mr. Kirby. He is very mad.
And Mrs. Kirby and the stripteaser, they were fighting all night.
There's a whole lot here about Mr. Kirby, though. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby & Co. 62 Wall Street, who was among those apprehended but stated he had nothing to do with the manufacturing of fireworks, but refused to say why he was on the premise at the time of the raid. Mr. Kirby is a member of the Union Club, Racket Club, Harbor Club, and the National Geographic Society. He is certainly a joiner.
All them rich men, or elks or something.
Ever notice how northern folks always get themselves in trouble?
Yes, sir, I'm glad I'm Southern.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with all that food out in the kitchen, because there ain't gonna be no party tonight, that's for sure.
Aren't we gonna eat it anyhow?
I'm cooking it, but I don't think anybody's gonna have an appetite.
Well, I'm hungry.
Well, they ain't, Donald. They're all so broke up about Miss Alice.
Why's she leaving, and where is she going?
Mountains someplace. But it don't matter what nobody says. Because I know Miss Alice when she gets that look in her eye. She's going.
Too bad, ain't it?
It sure is. She sure loves that boy.
Not even a balloon left.
How's your hand, Dapina?
It's better. Do you know where the olive oil is?
It's in the salad bowl.
In the kitchen.
Thanks.
Well, she's going. And anything anybody said won't change her mind. She ain't gonna be away long, is she, Mrs. Sycamore? I don't know, Reba. She won't say.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine, Donald. Perhaps if I do some work, maybe I'll feel better.
Well, I won't bother you then.
She's going, Penny.
Yes.
Now, Penny.
Can't help it, Paul. Somehow I feel like it's my fault.
Well, it's mine more than yours. Maybe if I became, all these years I've been enjoying myself, when maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father and a great husband, too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone and been an architect, I don't know, something that Alice could be proud of. I thought that all night looking at Mr. Kirby.
But we've been such a happy family.
I know, but maybe that's not enough. I used to think it was, but I'm all confused now.
Where's Alice now?
I don't know, suppose walking around upstairs?
Well, if only Tony could stop her or something.
It wouldn't work, he's been trying all day.
Well, where's he?
I don't know, suppose walking around the block.
Only if he could stop her.
It wouldn't work.
No, you don't suppose? This is all so terrible. Grandpa!
Now, Penny, let the girl alone.
But Grandpa!
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll come home. It only takes so much of the Adirondacks before you come home.
It's all so terrible, and I feel bad for Tony, too.
Yes, but it has its bright side, too.
What do you mean?
Well, Mr. Kirby getting to the patrol wagon for one thing, and the look on his face when he and Donald have to take a bath together. I'll never forget that if I live to be 100. And I warn you people, I intend to. If I can have things like that going on.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. There was this burlesque dancer in there, and she was singing a strip song while Mrs. Kirby was undressing.
I'll bet you Bar Harbor is going to seem pretty dull to the Kirbys this summer. And I'll tell you another thing. Oh, Alice, do you need any help with that?
No, Grandpa, I'm just going to iron these.
Okay.
Alice, dear. Really?
No, Penny.
I'll bring the big bag down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Thank you.
Oh, Alice, do you want some candy for the train ride?
No thanks, Sassy.
Alice, dear, really? You don't need to go to the mountains. You can go up to your room instead and be all alone.
No, Mother, I want to be by myself, away from everybody. I love you all. You know that. I just have to go away for a little bit. I'll be all right. Father, did you phone for a cab?
No, I didn't know you wanted me to get one.
Oh, well, I told Mr. DePina to tell you. Didn't he tell you?
What? He told me, but I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything. That behave the way normal families do. I'm sick of cornflakes and Donald and all. Everything. Why can't we be like other people? Roast beef and two green vegetables and doilies on the table. Place you can bring your friends to without. Oh.
I'll see if I can do anything. Alice! Alice, get back here!
Tony, please talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thanks. Good luck. Alice, won't you listen to me, please?
No use, Tony. It's no use.
But at least let me talk to you.
Where'd they go?
Upstairs.
She walked out the minute he came in.
She knocked the olive oil right out of my hand. I'm gonna smell kind of fishy.
Ah, say, how are you, DePina? Your hand any better?
It's better, but everything got burnt up.
Even the Roman costume?
Except this.
I told you something good would come out of all this. All except my 23 years back income tax. I get another letter every day.
So what are you gonna do about that, Grandpa?
Well, I kind of had an idea yesterday. It may not work, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it anyhow.
Well, what is it?
Well, you see, what I'm planning to do is,
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome, crowd.
I realize you are all upset, and I hope you will excuse my coming tonight.
It's all right, Golenkoff.
I don't think I can take a lesson today, Mr. Kolenkoff. I don't feel up to it.
Well,
Oh, Mr. Golenkoff, please stay for dinner. We have all that food out there and no one to eat it.
I would love to.
Fine.
Now, I hope I know you well enough, Madam Seymour, to ask you a very big favor.
Of course, Mr. Kolonkoff. What is it?
You remember me talking about my good friend, Olga Katrina, no?
Yes.
She is a great woman, Grand Duchess of Russia, cousin of the Tsar. Now works child's restaurant in Times Square.
Now, Mr. Kolonkoff, if there's anything we can do for you.
And I tell you, she has not had a good meal since the revolution came around.
My, she must be hungry.
And today, now it's only her day off, Thursday, but also anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Mr. Kolonkoff, if you're asking for the Grand Duchess to come here for dinner, why, we'd be honored.
Oh, yes.
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you.
Now, Mr. Kolonkoff, what time will she be here?
She is actually outside right now.
Oh my gosh.
I will get to her.
I see fish your dress and egg your tie. How do I look?
Lovely. If this keeps up, I want to live to be 150.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Grand Duchess of Russia, Olga Katrina. Now, permit me to present you Your Highness, Madam Sycamore.
How do you do?
Mr. Sycamore.
How do you do?
Grandpa. Now. Mr. Carmichael. Madam Carmichael. And last, but certainly not least, Mr. Peanut.
All right, that's enough, Peanut. Come on, down, boy.
Please be seated, Your Highness.
Thank you. You are most kind.
We're honored to receive you.
I am most happy to be here. But how soon is dinner?
Oh, very soon, very soon.
I do not mean to be rude. Thank you. But I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I'm substituting for another waitress.
Do not worry, Your Highness. We will get you back on time.
Thank you, Kolonkoff.
You know, Your Highness, I think you waited on me at the Child's once, the 76th Street place.
No, that's my sister.
Grand Duchess Natasha.
I work in Times Square.
Oh. I say, quite a lot of your folks living over here now, aren't there?
Oh, yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei, he's a very nice man. He's an elevator man at Macy's. And then there's Prince Alexis, but he will not speak to the rest of us. He works at Hattie Carnegie. He's in ladies' underwear.
But I thought he was willing to talk to you when he was selling hot dogs at Coney Island.
Hi, Kolonkoff. Our time is coming. My sister, Natasha, she's starting to be an opportunist. Uncle Sergei, they have promised to make him floor worker next month. And I will soon be transferred to the Fifth Avenue style. From there, it is only one step from the Schratz. Then, we will see what Prince Alexis says.
I think you've got him.
You are telling me. Your Highness, did you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean.
Yes, he was my cousin. Terrible what happened to him, but perhaps it was for the best. Where could he find a job now?
Pravda. That is true.
And poor relations are poor relations. It's like this in every family. My cousin, the King of Sweden, he was very nice to us for about 10 years. He would send us a money order every now and then. But then he just started to say, I just cannot go on. I'm not doing so well myself. I don't blame him, but...
No, of course not. Pardon me, Your Highness.
Say, Grand Duchess, is it true what they say about Rasputin?
Everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear sir, it is. And how?
You don't say.
Your Highness, we must watch the time.
Oh, yes, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He's a communist.
We'll hurry things up. Oh, Essie dear, why don't you go in the kitchen and see if Reba needs any help?
Oh, I will help too. I'm a very good cook.
Oh, no, Your Highness, not on your day off.
Well, I don't mind. Where's your kitchen?
Oh, right through here, but you're the guest of honor, Your
Really,
Highness.
I don't mind. I love to cook. Come, Colin, if they have pot cheese and sour cream, I can make you some blintzes.
Ah, blintzes. Oh, Pablo. We teach you something new.
Say, the Duchess is quite alright, isn't she? Hey, Duchess, can I help?
There's always next time. You know, she has a wonderful face for a mask, hasn't she?
Yes, considering she's the Grand Duchess.
No, it's wonderful that some people go through. Still keep kind of gay, too.
Mm-hmm. You know, she made me forget everything for a minute.
I suppose I better call that cab.
Wait, Paul. Oh, here comes Alice now.
Ed, will you please go bring my big bag down?
Don't you do it, Ed.
Please, Ed.
Fine, go ahead. You know, you got the stubbornest girl in all 48 states.
You're telling me.
Oh, I'll bet you that's George and Gracie.
No, Grandpa, it's a cab.
If it is, it's certainly a wonderful service.
Is Tony here, Alice?
Yes, he is. Come on in, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, how do you do?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Forgive my intruding. Tony, I want you to come home with me. Your mother is very upset.
Very well. Goodbye, Alice.
Goodbye.
I need to hardly say that this is as painful to Mrs. Kirby and myself as it is to all of you. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes, but in a way, no. No, Mr. Kirby, I'm not the kind of man who tries to run away people's lives, but matter of fact is, I don't think these two young people have as much sense as, say, you and I have.
Grandpa, would you please not do
Now,
this?
Alice, I'm just talking to Mr. Kirby. A cat can look at a king, now can't he?
Alice, dear, can I please help you with anything?
No, Mother.
You know, you get a long while before the plane leaves.
Will you please send a cab to 761 Claremont Street right away, please? That's right. Thank you.
Alice.
Father.
Are you ready, Tony?
Now, I suppose after last night, you think this family is pretty crazy, right?
No, I would not say that. Although I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and spending the night in jail.
Well, yes, but you gotta remember, you came on the wrong night. Now, tonight I'll bet you nothing will happen at all. Maybe.
Mr. Vanderhoff, it was not merely last night that convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can fix my affairs. Alice, last time. We married.
No, Tony. I know what your father means, and he's right.
No, he's not.
Now, Alice, you're in love with the boy. You're not married.
Grandpa.
Now, I know you think the two families wouldn't get along, and maybe they would. Who says that they're right and they're wrong?
Grandpa, I can't say that.
Well, what I feel is that Tony is too nice of a boy to wake up in his life 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
How's that?
Yes, mixed up and unhappy the way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhoff. I'm a very happy man.
Are you?
Certainly I am.
No, you're not. Where do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because most of your time is spent doing things you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. Wasn't it you who said that at the end of a week in Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy? Why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? Why, that's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Why not? You've got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I've spent my entire life building up my very own business.
And look what it's got. You save mail every morning, you take the deals, you plan to eat dinner, same digestion. Where's the fun coming, Mr. Kirby? Surely, you wanted more when you first started out. Don't you think there ought to be something more? We haven't got that much time, you know. Any of us.
Well, what do you expect me to do? Live the way you do? Do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, and practice my darts. Even have time to notice when spring comes around. I don't have 6 hours of things I have to do before I get 1 hour of things I like to do. And I don't talk to anybody I don't want to. And I haven't taken a bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. What's the matter with that?
The matter with it? Suppose we all did it. A fine world we have everybody going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who will do all the work?
Well, there's always people that like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions, and they fly to the oceans. There's always people like to go down to Wall Street, too. Because they like it. But from what I've seen of you, I don't think you're one of those people. I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
I wasn't either. Used to get down to that office 9 o'clock straight, no matter how I felt. Used to lay late and I feared I wouldn't get that contract. Used to worry about the world, too. Used to be all worked up about whether Cleveland or Blaine would be elected president. It seemed all important at the time. Who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've had 35 years that nobody can take away from me, no matter what you do. See?
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American, and it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under its influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
The matter with it? Why, you sound like communism. That's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
I most certainly did. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. There was a time you didn't think so because you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Don't be an idiot, Tony.
Oh, yes, you did. I came across those letters you wrote to grandfather. You remember those?
No. How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Now, Mr. Kirby, that's wonderful. Did you wear tights as well?
Certainly not. The whole thing was absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18 you would be a saxophone player, didn't you?
Tony!
And at 21, you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to be in the business. It's all down there in black and white. You didn't always think so.
I may have had silly notations in my youth, but thank God my father laughed right at me.
Not altogether, Father. There's still a saxophone in the back of the closet.
There is?
We'll discuss this later, Tony.
No, Father, I think we have to talk about it now. Mr. Vanderhoff is right. He's dead right. Never liked that office. I've always hated it. I'm not going on with it. You know what? I'll tell you something else. I didn't make my mistake last night. I knew it was the wrong night. I brought you here on purpose.
Tony, good heavens, Tony.
I wanted you to see a family as they really were. A family that loved and understood each other. You don't understand me. You never had time. I'm not making a mistake. I'm clearing out.
Clearing out? Why, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be dragged into business just because I'm your son. I'm getting out while there's still time.
But Tony, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. After all, I am a mason.
I'll bet you got George and Gracie.
Grandpa, I'm sure that's the cab.
Tell him to wait a minute, Ed.
Grandpa.
Now, Alice, look, Mr. Kirby. Tony's going to do the same exact thing you and I did when we were his age. I'm sure you listen hard enough and hear yourself saying the same exact things to your father 25 years ago. We all did it, and we were right. How many of us would be willing to settle for what we eventually get? All those plans we make? What happens to them? It's only a handful of lucky ones. Say they even came close. So before they clear out that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get a few good hours in that saxophone.
How many would there be for dinner?
Ah, Grand Duchess, may I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
How's that?
How do you do? Now, before I made the beans, how many would there be for dinner?
Oh, I'd make quite a stack of them, Your Highness. You can never really tell.
Good. The Tsar always said to me, Olga, never be stingy with the beans.
Did you say that was Mr. Vanderhoff?
That was the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. She's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, why don't you and Tony both stay?
It's a wonderful idea. We're going to have all that food we were going to have last night. I mean, tonight.
Yes. So, plus it'll give us a chance to kind of get acquainted. Why not stay?
How about it, Father? Are we staying for dinner?
Why, if you're here to, Tony, I'd like to very much.
Now, Alice will send away the cab, Mr. Vanderhoff.
How about it, Alice? Looks like it's going to be a pretty nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay?
I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
Mr. Kirby. Tony. Oh, Tony. Grandpa, you're wonderful.
Oh, I've been telling you that for years.
Grandpa! A letter came to you. It's in the icebox.
Let's see here. United States government.
Oh,
Shocker.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
How do you do?
Well, Miss Sycamore, won't you step in my office? I'd like to do a little dictating.
I better tell that cab.
Well, well, well.
What is it, Grandpa?
The United States government apologizes. I don't owe him a nickel. It seems I died 8 years ago.
Why? What do you mean, Grandpa?
Remember Charlie, the milkman, buried under my name?
Yes?
Well, I told them they made a mistake and that I was Martin Vanderhoff Jr., so I don't have to pay them a thing. They may even give me a refund.
Why, Grandpa, you're an old crook.
Yeah, sure.
Pardon me, but how did you say you skipped income tax, Mr. Vanderhoff?
Well, it's quite a process.
Tonight, my friends, we eat. Hello there. How do you do? Fine, fine. Glad to see you.
What has happened? Ah, he's just relaxing. That's right. Play something, Ed.
Everyone, dinner! Mr. Kirby, please sit. Essie, stop dancing and come to dinner.
You don't like Russian food, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, but you must be careful of your indigestion.
Nonsense. I haven't had any indigestion.
Now, in Russia, when we sit at the dinner table,
All right, quiet, everybody. Quiet. Time for grace. Join hands. Everybody ready? All right. Well, sir, we've all been getting along pretty well now. Alice and Tony are to be married. It looks as if they're going to be pretty happy. Of course, the basement blew up, but that was the penis fault, not yours. Yeah, we've all got our health, And as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Grandpa, I've just heard from my friend in Russia again. He's escaped Siberia.
Oh.
Again.
Say, same for me.
Mr. Kirby, we're having roast goose for dinner. I hope you like roast goose.
Like it. Like's my favorite dish.
Oh, I'm going to dance for you later, Mr. Kirby. I got a new bazooka.
I've written some stuff and music for it. Say, Mr. Kirby, what do you think of the Securities Commission? We got to start thinking about next year's fireworks designs.
Well, here goes Adirondack.
And a very good thing, too.
Likes that blue paint.
I think he'll like the bill better.
Already on stage. I wonder who that could be. It's Georgie Gracie!
Did we miss anything? Thank you guys all for coming. Hope you all have a safe drive home.
We'd like to take a minute to give a round of applause to all of our sponsors out there.
Okay, so we would like to ask a couple people to come on stage because this wouldn't have been able to be done without them. So would Jade, Michael, Joey, voices. Yeah. And Michael, she was our sound and lights person, and like we would all be in the dark without her. So.
Thank you.
And Nala, she's not here, but she did all of our paintings. The painting was Filipina, she handmade those, so she's actually very, very talented. And next we have Jade, and she was our entire costume designer. Every single piece of everything you're seeing on here is her. Like, she did everything. Thank you, Jade!
We'd like to say thank you, Mr. Burrows, for believing in us and giving us all this trust. And without you, this honestly would not be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.